Hello everyone, my name is Ketan and welcome to my channel. I hope you all are doing good. Today I am going to tell you something interesting which may take some of your time, but I assure you it will be worth. Let's watch this video till the end. The entire world is in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic and it has spread across 200 countries in the world, including India, even after early preventive measures taken by Indian government. It started from Wuhan, China, and due to negligence or deliberate hiding of information from Chinese authorities, it has been spreading like fire across the world. Further, it is quite surprising that apart from Wuhan and Hubei province, all other parts of China remained unaffected either in reality or is portrayed by the government of China, and this worked as a seed for Boycott China movement across the globe. In India, Boycott China movement further fueled up as the Honorable Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi has announced Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign
Atmanirbhar Bharat
and gave a call for be vocal for local. Atmanirbhar Bharat has literally become a trend in India as it was more specifically targeted towards our immediate neighbor China. On the other hand, China tried for encroachment in Indian territory at Galwan Valley, which resulted in a fight between Chinese and Indian army, causing the death of approximately 20 Indian soldiers and 40 Chinese soldiers. In India, these incidents provoked Boycott China Twitter trend, anti-China rallies, vandalizing Chinese stores, removal of Chinese apps from cell phones and so on. But the million-dollar question is, can India boycott China in real, and if yes, how it is possible? In this video, we will see how India can boycott China but in a sensible way. First, let's look at some facts and figures to understand the details of trade between these two Asian giants. China and India are doing approximately $100 billion business, and as per 2019 data, India export goods to China worth $18 billion and import goods worth $72 billion from China. Thus, India is more dependent on China rather than China depends on India. Further, China exports approximately 6% of its total export value to India, and India imports a total of 13.8% of its total import value from China. Hence the question is how to reduce such high dependency and make Atmanirbhar Bharat a reality. For the same purpose, India's renowned scientist and educationist Mr. Sonam Wangchuk has started a campaign, namely Answer to Bullet by Wallet, to counter the Chinese products in India. In fact, he was the first person who had started a Boycott China campaign. He divided India's dependency on China into 4 broader categories. Let's discuss it in detail. In some places, my views will not be in line with the opinions of Mr. Sonam. The first category is Chinese software and applications in the Indian market. Chinese apps like TikTok, ShareIt, Sender, UC Browser and many more have captured Indian software market heavily, and people became dependent on them for day-to-day life. You will be surprised to know that, as per reliable source of 2019, a famous short video making app TikTok has achieved 467 million downloads in India, which is approximately 35% of total Indian population. On the other hand, China has 173 million downloads within China, which is merely 12% of total Chinese population. Hence, India has 3 times more downloads of TikTok than China. TikTok will definitely not add any value in Indian youths. Even if India has cheapest 4G data in the world, people are still not using these resources for constructive learning and skill building. Apart from market share, there are serious privacy and security concerns with the usage of these apps. Even many times we came across the news that these Chinese apps are collecting personal data of users and chances of misuse are there. Hence, to maintain the integrity of the country, Government of India has banned 59 Chinese apps under Section 69A with immediate effect. Further, government launched an app innovation challenge under Digital India campaign to boost up Atmanirbhar Bharat. Hence, just boycott India will not serve. We need to compete and outperform them to win battle in Indian markets. We need to use our available resources like data and time to upgrade our skills, become more productive, decrease the cost and increase the quality output. That's the only foundation stone for Atmanirbhar Bharat. The second category is Chinese finished products sold in the Indian markets. Finished products are the products which are directly consumed by customers and no value addition process required on that. Hence, it doesn't add value in terms of Indian economy, employment generation and development in industry. Indians are addicted so much to these Chinese products that 90% of toys market, 70% of smartphone market, 50% of bicycle market and much more are in hands of Chinese companies. You will see Chinese products in any market segment with 25 to 30% and in some cases 50 to 70% lower prices than that of domestic products, and this attracts customers to go for it. After Mr. Sonam's call for boycott China, Confederation of All India Traders decided to boycott approximately 3,000 Chinese products, which will be replaced by domestic goods worth $13 billion by December 2021. Around 16 million traders and shopkeepers are part of CAT to achieve this vision. Even Government of India has passed a new ordinance for declaration of country of origin at the time of selling for e-commerce company, and it will boost up patriotism in Indian population. Apart from that, Indian tech companies should identify the needs of the customers and shall focus on development of smartphones and solar cell industry to feed the demand of 1.35 billion population. We also request Indian customers to support Indian products wherever it is possible. The most important thing, we need not to break previously owned Chinese products. It's your loss. Rather replace it with Indian products in future. Third category is Chinese raw materials used in Indian products. During COVID-19 pandemic, India emerged as pharmaceutical leader when many countries stand in queue for hydroxychloroquine to treat coronavirus patients. Even WHO appreciated efforts of India, but that is a front story. Basic raw material required for drug manufacturing is known as active pharmaceutical ingredient, and majority of it is imported from China. Hence we are dependent on China for our core strength business as well. According to Bloomberg, 70% of India's imports of APIs come from China, totaling $2.4 billion of India's import spending for these products. All our biggest industrial and production sectors are dependent on Chinese raw materials, and the biggest reason is India cannot manufacture the same quality of materials and components at same cost and same scale in India. If we boycott all those at this time, India may damage our country's unique selling proposition in the world market. Meantime, India should develop the capability of manufacturing such raw materials in India. It is long-term strategy and it may take 3 to 5 years. Government is already focusing on strengthening the MSME sector and release economic package as well to promote domestic industrial growth. It's a strategic move and cannot be done overnight. China also took 20 plus long years to become a global production house. As a customers, it's the responsibility of every Indian to stand in support of government and industry to make it successful. The last category is Chinese investment in Indian companies. Currently, China is in the prime position for making investments, and they are in the process of entering promising sectors like technology, mobility, e-commerce, etc., and started investing heavily in all growing economies in the world, including India. As per March 2020 report published by Gateway House, Chinese venture capitalists have invested approximately $3,600 million in Indian startups and tech companies. On the other hand, investment from Indian venture capitalists is mere $100 million. Further, due to economic crisis, many Indian capitalists have to sell their market shares, and most of the buyers were Chinese capitalists. China has deep roots in all successful startups of India, and few of them are Paytm, Flipkart, Swiggy, Byju's, Big Baskets, Zomato, Snapdeal, Dream11, Ola Cabs, and many more. Now question is, when the entire world is facing an economic crisis, how China is investing so heavily in many countries? Because China has forex reserves of approximately $3 trillion, which is as equivalent to India's total economy size. China got all these forex reserves by its exports in all other countries of the world. However, as a customer, you need not to boycott the companies if Chinese investment is less than 50%. We need to support our Indian startups in such cases. Even startups should try to arrange their investment from non-Chinese sources. The government is active in this front and cancelling many contracts with Chinese companies. Even they are not allowing Chinese firms to participate in infrastructure projects. For long run, this will be beneficial for Indian economy. It's a time where every Indian has to sensibly follow this movement. We also need to learn a few lessons from China so that we can replicate or outperform its success story. So what India should learn from China? It is an age-old saying that one should learn from its rivals, and it's a truth that we have many things to learn from China. Let's check few of them. The first is economy of scale. China's ability to scale up the operations in such a level that the cost of product reduces drastically, and with government's export promotion scheme, they are literally dumping their products in world market at approximately 30% lesser prices than domestic products. The second is policies should be consistent and not deviate with government change after every 5 or 10 years, which is the case in India. China's communist government and Chinese business sector work hand in hand across the globe where policy is driven by strategy. The third is development of strong infrastructure and supply chain to become world's production and business hub. India has already the advantage of roadways, waterways and airways, so need to develop the structure to support industries, just like Belt and Road Initiative of China. The fourth is ease of doing business. In China, government ensuring the same at the highest level to get business from the world and support heavily in terms of finance, the security of interest and export promotions. The fifth is don't just become market for other players to sell their products. Make policies accordingly so that interest of domestic player will be defended in domestic market and high performing player get an edge in the export market. It's not an overnight thing. It needs strategic efforts of 10 to 20 years to take a stage which is China enjoying now at world level. But as an Indian, every citizen has to be vocal for local and build up self-reliant India. I am ready. But are you ready for that?